Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane and the Section 194 Inquiry Chairperson Qubudile Dyantyi once again at loggerheads. Mkhwebane had to be muted after the chairperson maintained that only the committee members would be allowed into the inquiry. However, Advocate Mkhwebane insisted on taking part, saying evidence leaders were not part of the committee. Advocate Mkhwebane is without legal representation. That's after her office announced that it was not in a position to continue supporting her due to financial constraints.
It is a committee meeting. I'm only allowing members to participate in the meeting.
Not members, Chairperson. I've written you an agent letter.
I will look at that letter. Thank you.
And it's not for you only. It's for the committee. And evidence leaders are not members.
I did not give you platform. Just mute her. You're not going to repeat that.
Okay.
This is the meeting of the committee.
I've sent you a letter.
You are not a member unless you are.
But the evidence leaders are not members.
Just mute her. Just mute her.
Let's speak now to Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane for more on this. Thank you very much, Advocate, for your time this afternoon. Perhaps let's start with the urgent letter that you mentioned to the chairperson that you had written to him. What is the contents of that letter?
The contents of the letter are my unhappiness in how the committee is conducting itself, especially the chairperson. I was bringing to the attention of the chairperson that they can't continue with the proceedings, firstly violating the constitutional court judgment that I should have full legal representation of my choice. And in that particular letter also, I'm saying to the chairperson, now he's disguising the committee meeting as if, in fact, it's as if it's a committee meeting, but the evidence leaders are dealing with the evidence, are dealing with all the testimony which I've made. Nowhere in the world you will see that, especially in South Africa, where you would see whilst a witness is still on the stand and now you have to analyze their evidence, and they wanted to even cross-examine me last week, which a chairperson said, no, that can't be done. Now the chairperson is allowing them. Even members of the committee are saying they need to be empowered. Empowered on what? Because they are kind of then rubbishing everything which I've spoken about. I'm not there. My legal representation is not there. We ask that postpone and everyone on all hands on deck, can we get the legal representation? That has not been done. So hence I wrote that letter of demand requesting the chairperson to stop this unlawful and illegal process so that we can get the resources and continue with the proceedings. I'm not afraid to continue with this. Evidence leaders have gone into details about the arguments. It's legal arguments which they are doing and which is very wrong to do. And I think this is unheard of. I mean, and you've heard how he spoke to me, requesting nicely. At first, he was saying he's going to give me an opportunity. I don't know what changed. In a blink of an eye, he was arrogant. I mean, even muting me. Sometimes you'd wonder how a man would just speak to me like that, and as if I'm a child, not even respecting the office I hold as the constitutional institution. So I felt belittled. It was so embarrassing. And coming from somebody who's taken an oath of office to respect the Constitution and who's deployed and who's voted by the public, is representing the public and treating the very same constitutional institution like this. So if they treat me like this, what about an ordinary person on the street? And it's as if I'm this gangster or a murderer, the way I'm being treated. Even a murderer is not treated like that. So this is uncalled for, and we will be escalating this to the Speaker, to to even the president because of the issues of legal representation, and to even see how they react. And always I've been doing that. Write letters, tell people to correct themselves, and as a last resort, go to court if they would also listen to me. But that's what I would to be doing to exercise my rights.
Advocate Mkhwebane, on the issue of legal representation, did you get enough lead time from the Office of the Public Protector to say, well, we will no longer be able to continue with this process because the acting Public Protector is quoted as saying that the legal services for the institution in 2022-2023 already exceeded the allocated budget? And so did you have enough time to perhaps make a plan to get legal representation?
I wouldn't even, what plan would I make? Firstly, the letter was sent on the 1st of January, of March. The letter was sent to me. The speaker was copied. The chairperson of the section 194 was copied. The chairperson of the Justice Portfolio Committee was copied. I didn't place myself in this position. Isn't it they say I account to Parliament? Isn't it they are determining my fitness? And the Constitutional Court said I should be provided legal representation, the one which they refused at first. So I think the Deputy Public Protector's letter as well is collapsing the whole process, because by the 1st of March, if they've exhausted, they should have engaged institutions to request resources. What must I do? Because I am suspended. I should be provided with legal services. They've done that. They've paid my legal services. Now, all of a sudden, what should I do on my own? So I think they are the ones who are supposed to find means. And I mean, the very same letter which is now disputing is the matter of interpretation that the president's suspension was saying with full benefits. And as well, the suspension will last until the finalization of this particular inquiry. So what else was I supposed to do? I don't have money. I can't fund myself. I've been doing my work. And again, go back to the issue of what have I done to deserve this after I have saved the public, after we've got 3 clean audits, we've dealt with backlogs, we've assisted the public. Now I'm facing this inquiry because of just 4 or 5 judgments, which we are trying as well before the committee to show the public that this is what I did and I was not targeting any person. Now it's as if this process of Abobawa and Mayosi and the chairperson is just to undo that and to just poison the members of the committee and to even the public. But at the end of the day, I think they should provide resources. I must still go back there and present my side of the story.
Advocate Mkhwebane, in fact, as we speak, I'm just checking online with the Parliament of the Republic of South Africa. The Section 194 inquiry is still going on. There's a document that they are currently dealing with at the moment. You characterize the process as being unlawful legal process, rather. And so in terms of your legal representation going forward, is there any communication you've received so far? I mean, it's day 2 without you being there, that a plan is being made to get you legal representation?
They haven't said anything. I'll wait for the chairperson. Remember, I asked yesterday to be excused, and he excused me. This morning when I joined, he said, it's a committee meeting. What do I want there? And it's only for committees to speak and chase me like, I don't know, maybe a dog, or an animal or a nuisance. So I'm still waiting because I'm still saying I'm ready to continue, but unfortunately I can't proceed without the legal representation. Worse to do is that my legal representation has been doing certain pro bono matters on my behalf because of the very same behavior of the Deputy Public Protector. I didn't go out there to do the work assisted by the office. Now I'm facing all these challenges. I'm trying to exercise my rights. I'm not scared to account, and I'm waiting for them. They are still continuing deeper and deeper in this unlawful process, deeper and deeper after I've written to them to stop, and they are not doing anything.
Advocate Mkhwebane, there are some reports that allege that the process or the legal fees, your legal fees, have gone well over hundreds of thousands of millions of rand, actually. One report even suggesting that perhaps you need to get a state advocate. One, is that an option? And two, how does that make you feel? Are you able to maybe let us in terms of the amounts?
That's so wrong, that estimation. I don't know how much it is. I saw somebody last time posting 24 million. But what's worse is that they are even accusing the S194 that he's looting or we are looting. And he's even charging around 20,000 per hour. In fact, not per hour, per day, way less than people who are charging around 45,000 to 100,000 per day, firstly. It's wrong. It's not 100 million. Secondly, they should, they let them provide services to me. They said of my choice. And you've got 66,000 records. Then it's for those people to then say, if I'm getting another state advocate, who will have to spend how many months to read? So people are taking it as if you just wake up and go and defend somebody. A credible attorney or a lawyer will have to go through all the records, and we prepare and go through the process. Let them get money. I have a legal team. Then we can just proceed. It's so interesting that people are so focusing on my legal team. Why are they not asking how much is being paid to Advocate Bauer and Mayosi? Why are they not asking how much has Parliament spent to defend these matters? When I'm writing them letters and I'm saying, let's speak, they just say, rather go to court, rather interdict us. Why do they not also ask those questions? What kind of a country are we as people where we will just focus on a certain area? And why am I being taken to such a very expensive process? My term is ending in October. Why are they doing this?
Advocate Mkhwebane, you mentioned the attitude of the chairperson and you were surprised at his change in attitude. What do you perceive is behind that hostility that which he treats you?
I think that you must ask him, and you must ask him to listen to himself and as well replay the video and ask him why such a change. He was saying, we will listen to you. All of a sudden, no. We are not. You are not a committee member. Mute. Sure. How do you treat me like that? And as I said, being a woman, and it's so horrible, distasteful, if I may say, and I felt belittled. You can't do that. And, the country is quiet. We've got even your legal fraternity, your Babasa, your all BLA, and you keep quiet when a constitution. What are you saying as a country? So this is horrible. And I said, even the very same Bauer and Mayosi, I am considering to escalate the matter to the legal practitioners' council, because how do they also mislead and do something like this? Because they are the ones who are supposed to advise the chairperson, no, we cannot do this. Let's wait for the opportunity. Let's also make sure that she's represented. If they would want to grill me and question me, and you could see that all this is just choreographed, because you see your very regular certain individuals on Twitter and mainstream media, they will be reporting something. So this is just done to change the narrative, to just put the narration which is very wrong. I presented, I justified. Why repeat the same things, the same judgments, the same paragraphs, and they're going to be paid? Why can't you ask why are they doing this? Because evidence leaders will have to be paid for what they did yesterday to today and maybe tomorrow. Why waste the resources as Parliament? Whereas we're not to do what they did, they even expanded the scope. Was it necessary to call all those 15 witnesses, staff members and disgruntled employees who were found guilty, by the way, by their committee, by the various disciplinary committee for their behavior? I had nothing to do with that. Now they turned that parliamentary process into a CCMA. Yes, now we say let's proceed with the hearing under protest because matters were before court. They go ahead and expand their scope. Remember those judges, the judge Besinkabinde, advocate Nzebeza and the other advocate Dival, they were paid state monies. Are you guys questioning those? Because they recommended a very narrow approach. What prima facie evidence is there? They then opened wonke. And now you guys are, or whoever is focusing on my legal team and my legal resources, as if I'm this irresponsible. You know, if you can also go back to the office and get people in the finance section who are credible and honest, they will tell you how our saving state resources, even compromising my safety to save on the resources of the state. But now I'm treated like this. Let them continue to pay my legal team. They have the resources within Parliament, and let them reprioritize within Parliament so that we can continue. Alternatively, let's call it quit. This process has been collapsed, and through that letter, so that we can then proceed. I can go back to the office and finish my term.
Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, thank you very much, ma'am, for your time this afternoon.